Tim, a 1-0 defeat. Just give me your assessment of what you saw today.
Carbon copy of probably the last four or five games. Get beat 1-0 from two mistakes, one a long throw down the line that we don't set up properly to defend it, spews off ahead and goes out for a corner, and then the ball's put just level with the back stick 2 yards out. To be fair, Ronnie's held his hands up, should come for it and deal with it. We lose a man round the back anyway who scores, and I think that's, I don't know, they had a massive chance right at the end where obviously Isaac's headed the ball trying to head it back to Ronnie, and he heads it straight to Miro Pace and he misses an absolutely massive chance to settle it, but it was 90 something minutes on the clock then. Other than that, I don't really remember them doing anything really, but in the first half we were nowhere near good enough. We set out with a diamond today. We played back four with a narrow midfield diamond and two up front. Wanted to get Marvin with Sweeney, and did that extra man in there because they were 4-3-3. Did we make use of that? No, we didn't. We didn't do anything that we were asked to do when we worked with it on Thursday, particularly in possession. We looked at times at stretch defensively. I thought obviously there was a wind behind them. Obviously I've had to have another moan up again at half time. It's becoming a theme. I've never really had that other than the last 2 or 3 games where I've had to, for some reason we seem unable to put in a first half performance, and I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. I'm trying to put my finger on it, and we have to say in the second half we come out for 25 minutes, we're just camped in their half, complete domination, but I don't, without hurting really, getting good areas. I don't remember, the goalie's had a couple of scramble saves or go down injured about 6 times in the game, the goalie, but they're under no circumstances were they in the football match at all. They managed to get 1 or 2 set pieces in probably towards the half-hour mark of the second half, which broke the game up for them, and then we got back in control a little bit, but we didn't really. Wakey had a shot which went over the bar, which he should probably be keeping down. He's on the run on the angle, but other than that, probably similar to the last few games that we've won. That we've lost 1-0. We haven't really asked enough questions of their goalkeeper, although we've had possession of the football.
It just came on nicely to the next question. How do you sort of become more of a threat going forward? Because we've seemed to have just gone away a little bit from what we've originally had. So how do you sort of get that back and reignite the spark basically?
Yeah, well, I mean, we were playing 4-3-3 pretty much predominantly when I came in. Listen, we're trying to get 2 up front. You know, Marv's come into the building. Obviously, Dan's got himself fit after a period of time out. So I wanted to get 2 up front and have a look at that. It's something that we've done seldom. We have done it now and again with a 3-5-2, but more often it's been with a box midfield than with still with 1 up front. So I was looking at that today. Would it give us a greater threat? Did it? Not really. It took me to have a moan up at half time really to start getting them to really work a bit harder for us and get us up the pitch and give us a platform to support and link with them. So we didn't do enough up there first half. And listen, in the end, I guess from the time that I came in, when I was looking at the patterns, if you like, was we weren't scoring any goals. We just didn't score goals in football matches. Then we did start to win games and score a few goals whilst doing so. And you'd have to say in the last 4 or 5 games, you know, that we've reverted to type a little bit, albeit now with Dan back in the team, with another centre forward in the building. You know, Wakey was injured and now he's back available again. So the honest truth is it a shape? Is it a system? Probably not. Probably not. Is it that horrible, honest desire to run in behind and do the hard yards up there? And maybe a little bit. You know, we got dragged into a little bit of a niggly thing where I'm saying we don't need to get dragged into that. Why are we doing that? You know what I mean? That's what they want. It's what a couple of them want, and we got sucked in and said, don't do that. So we've got to work, get back to working. I mean, listen, we do offensive patterns in every session we do. So yeah, I've got to have a little think about it. Obviously, we've got a free week for the first time now in a month, just to sort of reset and have a think. Royston at home next week, and get our heads together and see what's the best way forward.
Keeping it on a positive, I mean, Ethan Septon had his 100th game for the football club today, so that's a big landmark for him and a big landmark for the football club. So to rack up that amount of games just shows the consistency he's had over the time period he's been.
Yeah, and he's had a bit of an injury thing as well for a bit. And listen, Ethan's a really good player. He's a really good player. He can play left centre back. He can play left back. He's strong. He's quick. We're talking to him, asking him we'd like him to stay here next year. So that's above my head a little bit. That would be Mark and the chair talking to a number of the lads to keep them. But clearly, if we're going to move forward as a football team on the field of play, then we are going to have to make a few changes, and we are going to have to freshen it up with maybe some different faces. But we do want to keep the core of what we've got, because there is some really good sorts in there, and one or two that we've missed with injury. Certainly Pez has been doing really well. So he's been a big miss for us in there, if all truth be told. But listen, in the end, we've got 5 league games left and a Worcester Cup game. So we've got to finish the season properly. Redditch have won today, Sudbury have won today. So these teams are picking up points. We've got to make sure that we do our job properly. But what irritates me is that none of the opposition that have beaten us 1-0 in the recent past have done anything to beat us. We've given them something. Every goal that we've conceded has been an individual error, and that's the point I've just made to them in there. If you take it back and analyse it, every single goal we've conceded is an individual error at the back. And then nobody's done anything really where you think, oh, they're good, they've ripped us apart, they're better than this league. No. But if you give them someone a helping hand, they're going to accept it gratefully. So we've got to start being a little bit more resolute. Our defensive record has been good over the season, but we've got to make sure that we keep our foot on the pedal and make sure that we're horrible at the back. But at the minute, we're giving a few too many presents away for sure.
And just finally, you've already touched on it about Royston. You got them next week, and you've come to the end of a period where it's been an absolute hectic. It's 9 games, so just now you've got a free week. Do you sort of just take a step back and reflect on how it's all happened, and how do you go forward and try and continue our good home form that we had?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to knock them too much. I have to be honest with them. That's my job. And if people need the hard word, then I'll give them the hard word, and they know that. They're not stupid. They know I'm not going to sit there and nicey, and I'm not going to come for them if I'm unhappy with what I'm seeing. If you take the points tally from since I walked in the building, then it's very, very competitive, and up until probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 games ago, it's certainly playoffs, points haul. But the season's 42 games, and if we think that we're going to cruise in, and this is the point I was making before the game, and I made it before the Leiston game and before the Sudbury game. If you think you're going to cruise in with a bit of a sunbed and all that, you're at the wrong club, because I can't have it, and I won't have it. And they're, to be fair, they're celebrating like they won the division today, and they're in the middle of the league with us, 6 points above us or whatever now. But in the end, you watched it, what's between the teams? A mistake, just one mistake, and that's cost us the game. So we need to work at everything. Are we good enough? No. But were we good enough when I came in? No. Have we improved? Yes. Do we need to improve again? Massively. If we're going to be a threat in this division next year, or really competitive at the right end, we've got to improve massively, 100%.